Hi everybody, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface with another mount guide video for Legion. Now above me is the Spirit of ECHE'RO. That's where I'm going to go with the pronunciation I think on this. And this is a mount that you can find in Archaeology. It's basically the ghost spirit of the former chief of the High Tribe Mountains' favourite moose. That's the best that I can describe it as. Now, you could be forgiven for thinking, well, this ain't going to be too much of a mount guide video, as because what we're going to do, we're going to find some dig sites. We're going to chip, and then we're going to eventually come across it as a rare find. No. You could be forgiven for thinking that, but that's actually not the case. You see, Archaeology is working a little bit different in Legion than it has in previous expansions. When you first arrive on the Broken Isles, you won't be able to dig anywhere. There's not going to be any accessible dig sites. What you have to do is go to the Archaeology building in Dalaran, and they'll provide you with a quest which will send you to a specific zone. When you get to that zone, you have to fulfill the criteria of that quest, which obviously is going to involve a lot of chipping away in dig sites. And then when you've completed that, you return to Dalaran and they'll send you off to another zone. However, the previous zone, thank you Belle, will no longer be available to dig in, and it's only the zone which you pick the quest for that you can. So it looks like you're going to have to do all the different zones one by one, and then when you've done every single one of them, then it will unlock World Archaeology. In this case, for High Mountain, the reward for the quest is actually to get the Spirit of ECHE'RO as the reward. So here I am in the very first dig site, and you've probably guessed by now, yes, you get the bone fragments through completing the digs. You just find the location of where you got to stick your pickaxe, and then when you loot it, you not only get the fragments that you would normally for whichever race it pertains to, but you'll also get some bone fragments as well. It's completely RNG, and you can get goose egg 0 fragments if you're really unlucky, but normally you pick up about 3 to 4. If you're really fortunate enough, you might even come across these guys. They come and try and defend the dig sites like we've seen in Archaeology before, and not only do they drop lots of the current fragments, but they drop lots of the bone fragments as well. And if you get a couple of them per dig site, then your squid's in. So here I am on the final dig of the dig site, and I end up with 30 fragments out of the 600. So that would mean I'd have to do 20 dig sites to get enough to complete what's required for the mount. But this, of course, is all RNG, and it's a little bit unfair to base it off one dig site. So I went out and I did it for you to see if that RNG luck holds up. So here I am on the final dig site that I required to get the 600th fragment. And this is actually dig site number 19. My RNG held up. It actually improved in certain instances. Now, this is not always going to be the case for people. Some people might go 22, 23, 24. Others might go 17, 18 dig sites. But it looks as if we're going to work off approximately 30 fragments per site. When you've picked up your 600 fragment, it'll actually proc a secondary part of the quest, which is to go to the graveyard right next to Thunder Totem, which ironically is what I call my... It's probably not appropriate for this video. And then when you're in the graveyard, you get to see the moose put back together. Whatever. You get to see the previous leader of the High Mountain tribe saying, "Cheers for sorting me moose out for me. If ever you want to call upon it, you can." And then you actually hand the quest in itself to the moose, and then you will get the Spirit of ECHE'RO as a mount for yourself permanently. So this is what the scallywag looks like, and to be perfectly honest with you, it's a pretty great reward for not that much effort. I was kind of like chilling out when I was farming these pieces, and it probably took a couple of hours, if that, maybe even 1. I don't know. Time just didn't seem to be an issue while I was doing it. So if you're into archaeology, this will be something perfect for you to aim for. So I really hope that you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links, they're in the description down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care, everybody. Bye-bye.